Alright everybody, in this video here we're going to go over how to clean your CPU water block. This can also go towards your GPU as well. So this one here, as you can see, it's a little green. It's only green due to the fluid that I had through it. So when I open this up, it's probably going to look pretty rough, but this block has been used on multiple tests. For this block here, this is a Corsair Hydro block. Works great. It comes in with their custom water cool kit. This one here does come with it, and it's a really good water block. So we have here this is not technically the correct one. This is a Allen key. What needs to be put into this right here is actually a Torx, but this does work technically, so I will use it. So I'll just unscrew all these. So some things that we're also going to need for this, besides an Allen key or Torx wrench. A Torx would be more appropriate for this screw pattern. I'll show you why. So I'll show you here. So that's actually a Torx. It's not really a Allen key. Allen key does work, but you want to do it proper. So we're going to take this out in a kind of like you're taking off a truck tire, not around in a circle. We'll just keep putting those there. We'll do these ones next. I will probably do a quick lapse of this here soon. No one needs to see spinning. But other things we will need is a toothbrush. Does not have to be an ultrasonic. An ultrasonic will help though. Just an old toothbrush will work. If you have one that's ready to go in the garbage, take it, clean it up with some either some alcohol or clean it up really good in the sink. Make sure it's nice and clean, and then you can use it as a cleaning tool. And we're also gonna need some water. We're just gonna use some water on this. If I see that there's some rough spots, there shouldn't be. Before I put together any of my systems, I completely clean them. Also, like all the copper. So like your radiator, this right here, it's like you don't really have to worry too much about like your blocks and that, more or less, because it's nickel plated. But when you start using the blocks and the blocks get used more, and if you used any kind of like Pascals and stuff, they're kind of harsh on your blocks, and we'll see in this one here if there's any wear marks or anything like that. So now we'll go on this one. For anyone that doesn't know, you do not mix aluminum and copper or really any kind of materials with each other, so try to keep it strictly a copper based system or aluminum based system. In my preference, I would only do copper, and that is due to the fact most of these blocks that you're getting for your CPU and GPU are copper, but they're nickel plated. And then nickel plating can wear. If that nickel plating wears, in your system, then the copper will be showing, and that copper will go into the aluminum. Aluminum will go into the copper. It'll make a nasty mess of your system. So in my preference, strictly copper is the best way to go. And I haven't seen any issues with my systems with the copper. Any copper radiator. Doesn't have to be a super expensive radiator. You can get a cheap one if you want. As long as it's copper. All copper. Now we'll just try to figure out how we open this one. Alright. So we got the plastic scraper, because it might make it a little easier to take this off and I don't have to worry about scratching anything. There we go. Oh, I almost dropped it. So we got that. I know there's something else comes out too. Pretty sure this comes out. Yes. Alright. Alright, that's not too bad. He's a little cloudy for there, but that's not too bad. And then here's the piece that I took out. Well, got some green, but I'm pretty sure that'll clean up, so we'll just do those pieces. Just keeping the rubber for now. I'm just throwing it all into some nice warm water here. It's taking it all apart. So there's the top plate. Ooh. Alright, we'll show you. We'll get to it. Just looks like it's not too bad. So the kind of I'll use like a radiator type coolant. Yeah, in my systems, like a split, and that is due to it has like an oil. It's not bad. It's not a bad oil. It won't harm your system at all. It doesn't harm the O-rings and that. Same O-rings that in your trucks and cars, so it won't harm it. But it has like an oil base, and it'll help like lubricate your systems and that to make sure everything's coated with like a lubrication, which is kind of nice in my opinion. But here's the block. The block's not too bad. See, those two lines aren't supposed to be there. That's gunk buildup. But overall, looking over it, I don't see copper yet. But that could change when I start to clean it. So we'll just throw that in the water as well. And we'll get to cleaning this stuff here. Alright, we're done with that. We'll need this stuff for later. Alright, we'll get the brush. It's not very loud. The batteries aren't going so great. Oh yeah, that's cleaning up like I don't do nothing. I don't have to do nothing. This one's almost clean already. Let's make sure I hit that roll ring gently here. Okay, that didn't take much for that. I mean, that one's already clean. So we'll set that aside onto the blanket. This was pretty nasty though. That's for where you saw the... Wow, this one's the one where you saw with the lines onto that. Oh no, that's not bad. Yeah, I like this. Very easy to clean. Very easy. Oh, super easy, guys. Super easy. It's not recommended to use like actual car radiator fluid, but if you want to do some hardcore overclock and then chill out some of your lines, so that way everything stays, like, you don't have to worry about anything freezing up, any water freezing up. You can use it. I use it in my daily systems. You just use a little bit of it. Has a little bit of lubrication that's in it that I like. It works good for the copper helps for stabilizing the copper. That way it doesn't start corroding at all. No problem. It's like every piece is coming out clean. Let's see if we can get this clean though. Look at that. Those lines there, that line and that line there are not supposed to be there. So we'll just, oh yeah, oh my god, oh my god, it's like disappearing. Look at close up of that, it's like kind of nice. That's actually kind of nice. Really nice close up here. Clean up easy though. I'm like no pressure at all. A nice soft brush with some really thin brushes on it would be preferred, so that way I can get into these skived pieces here, because they're very... Oh no, I do see a little bit of wear copper. Very, very, very little. I don't know if I'll be able to see it on camera. Well, should be able to. The camera's pretty good. The camera is pretty good. Let's see if we can see it on camera. Okay, so you see how there's copper? That's because I lapped it. This is lapped. This is very flat surface now, and that's all I really had to do. So lots of just very little copper on it. Here though, I don't know if you can see how it's shining. Ooh, come on, hit it again. There it is. See how you see that shining, and it's kind of it's not silver. To get up close, because it's really noticeable, I find, in the center. It's very hard. Yeah, it's very hard to see. Still see the line slightly in it, even though it's fairly clean. Well, I'll clean it up a little more. You see the water's getting dirty. Again, you don't want to push too hard on this or anything like that. You don't want to bend any of the sky pieces, so it's best just to be gentle. That's what I'm doing. It's just gently cleaning it here. Trying to see if I can clean a little more so you can see that it did wear a little bit. Which is kind of normal in my opinion. It's if you're using these D5 pumps, they move a lot of water. And if your system's on constantly, it will start to wear. Oh, you can see it lightly. They see that little bit of change color? That's because it's the copper. There we go. Now you can see it. That's not bad though. This has been used for over a year use on quite a bit for this one here. Used it for CPU and GPU because I customed it. Custom modified it. Alright, we'll dry those all out. As you can see, that water got pretty. That's from cleaning the CPU block. Alright. That's all away. Check these pieces over. These pieces look great. They look fantastic. I'm super happy with them. Alright, so this is all... Yeah, you can really see the copper right now. Yeah, everything looks great. Look at that. And we'll put it back together. And I'll probably be using this on the GTX 1070 that I shunt modded a while back there. If you guys would like me to make another video on shunt modding or just using the GTX 1070 in some games or benchmarks, we can do that. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. Yeah, so we'll put it all back together now. The main thing we want to do, let's grab this. Come on. Well, I wonder if I can make it easy to put the block on, wouldn't it? That lines up there. Now we'll just marry these two pieces. Oh no. Line it up with the slot. So line up. Thank you. There. There you go. All nice and clean. Now this is ready for the next test once you're all done. Once it's all screwed up again. The pattern you want to do like a crisscross type pattern. Kind of like what you're doing on a car tire. So I'll just show you. And initially you just want to put the screw in so that way it just hits. You don't want to go any farther right off the bat, just so that way you feel the tension that's holding it down. So now we're doing the opposite side of the block. Just so it bottoms out there that you see. Then once we're all done putting the screws in, then we'll go crisscross from there, center. Once we're all done putting these screws in, we'll go back and we'll give each one a tighten again on a star pattern. So that way everything is seated down nicely. When you take off, if you take off your CPU block or GPU block and you notice the O-ring has damage to it at all, replace it. And whatever kind of fluid you're using before, I would not use it in your next build, and or just not use it in general, just because that fluid probably was a cause of damaging that O-ring. Alright, now we have 4. See, boom, boom, boom. And we're going to go like that to here. Voila. Now we go the opposite. Right? Right? Make it as simple as possible. Let's go opposite, opposite. Once that's filled up, you go opposite, opposite. Alright. Boom. Alright, go opposite. So we just did this one here. Now we go over here. Get it? And just keep that pattern going. Yeah, it's a lot of screws on most of these, but that's because the tension has to be put down around quite nicely around the O-ring, so it makes a nice seal. Boom. Now we do this. So again, let me know in the comment section below if you'd like me to do the GPU block, just so you can have a reference on how to do a GPU block as well. A little more to go with the GPU block, as you're gonna have to do the, like when you put it back together onto the GPU, you're gonna have to do the thermal paste, thermal pads. When you're taking off the blocker, you have to be really gentle. You can reuse the thermal pads, but you'd have to be really gentle taking off the GPU block and then putting them in a safe location where they're not gonna get dusty or any kind of hairs, cat hairs, like around here with my little Gabby Goo. Alright, so each one's in and put down so they're seated. See how each one is seated? So now what we'll do is we'll go to this spot here. We'll give each just a light twist so that way you can feel some tension. Then you go to the opposite. Feels good. Same, feels good. Oh, this one had to be tightened a little bit. That was tight. That one's good. Good. Oop. Good. Good. I'll do each opposite one now. Do each opposite. Alright, now we're done. I just went over each one again just to make sure. Nice clean block again. Happy with it. Normally this has a LED ring around it, but what you can do with these blocks here, you can take that LED ring off, and then these screw holes that holds the LED on, these 4 here, you can drill them out slightly bigger. I mean, just slightly bigger than what they already are. And you could put threaded rod through these and they fit on a lot of GPUs. So that way you can use this block also on a GPU if you want it. Because this block works very well. This is a very well made block. May not look like it's all that great, but the skiving fins on this with the thickness of the actual copper of it to the actual CPU block, it wicks away the heat very well. That's what I find with this block. That's why I use it also on GPUs for testing. Thank you all for watching. I hope this video you guys liked. Let me know in the comment section below if you would like me to do a GPU block. If I get enough likes and comments on doing a GPU block, I will take apart the 2080 Super I have and I'll clean that. It's probably quite dirty as it's been used quite a bit and has not been taken apart and cleaned ever. So we'll definitely do that video if you guys want. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to get her done.